Throughout our history, there have been
so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please welcome Dr. Roger Dowdy, President and CEO of the Amateur Athletic Union.
Use this one. Good evening. Can everybody hear me? Is it on? Okay, okay, good. Hey, welcome to the, what annual is it? 89th Annual AAU James E. Sullivan Award. I've been coming to this thing many years. I wasn't here for the first one, but I've been coming here many years. A lot of people think, a lot of my colleagues think I was here for the first one, but not quite. And anyway, we are so pleased to be here back at the New York Athletic Club, which is where we were born. The AAU was a derivative of the New York Athletic Club. It wasn't this building per se, but it was their building over where the Hilton is downtown right now. In 1888, the guy by the name of James E. Sullivan, he is the guy that said, we need to have opportunities for kids and adults to compete. Because at that time you had New York Athletic Club, Philadelphia Athletic Club, Chicago Athletic Club, Detroit Athletic Club. They may not have had the LA Athletic Club yet, but it was close to behind. So he said, let's figure out a way where we can compete. And he formed what he called a Union of Amateur Athletes, which became the Amateur Athletic Union. So that's the start. We were born out of the James E. Sullivan being the president of the New York Athletic Club, and the AAU was formally born here. So that's why it's so cool for us to come back here every year and present the Amateur Athlete of the Year, the AAU James E. Sullivan Award. Now, a lot of these people, the parents and the kids, have heard this several times because we had a dinner last night. We had a breakfast for them this morning. We did an escape room with them. We did a lot of stuff with them. But some of the people that are here that may not have heard this before, the AAU has 41 sports. And we have about 150,000 volunteers around the country. And we have about 700,000 athletes. So you'll talk to people out there, and they say, well, we got millions of athletes that are competing in our organization. And then you look at them, and their budget's about 1/10 of ours, and they don't do as many events as we do. And then you look at how they count their athletes. When we say we have 700,000 athletes, we have 700,000 kids pay $14 a year to be an AAU member. If you buy an AAU card for $14 and you play football in the fall, basketball in the winter, spring in the, track in the spring, you still count as one. Where a lot of organizations, when they say we have 1.3 billion people, and then you look at their budget and think, how could they support that? But they count what's called a duplicated count. They will count, if a kid plays in 10 baseball games, they count that one kid 10 times. So that's why when we say 700,000, it's actually 700,000 people that actually bought cards. When we say 150,000 volunteers across the United States, that's 150,000 volunteers that took a background check, background screening, went through extensive screening and training for us, and are members of the AAU and have to rejoin every year. So we're really proud of that, and our goal during my second 4 years here is to hit the 1 million member mark. And with the kind of things we're doing with the Sullivan Award and the kind of things we're doing in the 41 sports that we offer in the 56 districts across the country, and the things we're doing internationally, I have no doubt we're going to hit that 1 million mark. Because right now we're negotiating a deal. We're in the final stages of a deal with China, where they want us to provide the sports experience for kids. The president of China wants to build 2.5 meters of square space for every resident of China. If you do the math, 2.5 meters times 1.4 billion, that's a lot of buildings. They're contracting with us, and we're in the final stages of kind of coming to an agreement with them where they want us to provide the experience for those kids and the athletic training for those kids. We're also working with Australia. We're close to a deal with them. 3 days from now, I'm going with Teresa Parmenter, or 4 days from now, to Kosovo. We're trying to help those countries out there that are less fortunate. We're bringing 3 wrestling mats. We're bringing all kinds of volleyball and basketball equipment and hurdles for track. This poor country doesn't have one hurdle, and they have a track team. They don't have any wrestling mats, and they came to our AAU Junior Olympic Games in Des Moines, Iowa. So we said, you know what? We got to do something to help. So we called out to our volunteers, and they came up with this. So the AAU is growing, we're prospering, and things are going well. Our global initiative, as I just talked to you about, is going crazy. And Clay's going to announce something tonight, that partnership we have with the President's Council. That's just a fabulous partnership where we're going to be back in the schools administering the physical fitness test. If you remember the old President's Council on physical fitness, we're going to be the administrative agency for that. So we'll be the only agency in the country that works in the for-profit division and the not-for-profit division that will be in the schools. So that's a huge step for us. So. Back to the Sullivan Award, because nobody wants to hear this stuff, and these athletes are saying, you had to be sitting here all day. This award means so much to me, because every year we go to dinner the night before, and I just love sitting there listening. I call them kids, because when you're my age, anybody below 30 is a kid. When you listen to these kids talk, and you see them on TV, you watch the highlight reels, you watch Bleacher Report, you watch ESPN, and you see how great they are and how phenomenal their abilities are. But then when you sit down for dinner with them, you realize they're just kids. I mean, the gymnasts really never have an opportunity to talk to the volleyball players. The volleyball players never really have an opportunity to talk to the swimmers, the track athlete, and so on and so on. And it's such a great experience because they get to talk to people that they watch and they idolize on TV. And the beauty of this is, because of the high degree of discipline all of these young people have, is they're all good kids. They're all good kids to start with. They come from solid families that have committed a lot of resources, have committed a lot of time and energy to help make them successful. They have the support of their family, they have support of their peer group, and they're out there every day. And I'm gonna tell one quick story about a girl by the name of Karen Hughes, Sarah Hughes, ice skater. Sarah Hughes. We used to bring, when ESPN had their studio down in Times Square, we used to whisk the person down from here down to Times Square, do a live feed of who the winner was. And this is when I really realized how hard these kids all work. Well, Sarah was getting ready for the, I believe, the World Championships. We announced her as the winner. We went out front. We got a cab or a limo or something. We went down to Times Square to the ESPN studios. I'm standing there with her mom, and she's being interviewed. And I said to her mom, boy, she's got to be glad that she's going home after this. She said, no, she's got 3 hours of ice time. We got 3 hours of ice time tonight on Long Island. She has 3 more hours to practice. And I thought, this is 10 o'clock at night. And then you start to think, people have no clue how much energy and effort all of these young people put in. Not only in the kind of the training that they have to do, but the training that they do beyond what anybody ever sees. So let's hear it for this group, all of these athletes and all these parents tonight. I'm going to hear from what they call the voice of God here in a minute if I don't get back on script. So I'm going to go back to the script now, and I have the dubious distinction. First I have to introduce from our partner here in this event, great guy, and he is here every year, loyal to us, does anything we need to keep this event going here and make this event better. And any suggestion we have, he's always there to support us. I would love to have come to the stage and say a few comments. Mr. Cedric Jones from the New York Athletic Club.
Thank you, Dr. Gowdy. As Director of Athletics and on behalf of our President, James Rafferty, our officers, our Board of Governors, and our 9,200 members, I'd like to welcome you all to the New York Athletic Club. We're pleased to host the 89th presentation of the James E. Sullivan Award tonight. For those of you who haven't been here to the New York Athletic Club, we have a very illustrious history. Athletes from this club have won over 271 Olympic medals, 151 gold, 54 silver, and 66 bronze. In 2016, athletes from this club, we sent 68 to Rio. 23 of them won medals, 20 of those medals are gold. And we're looking forward to Tokyo in 2020. So to Dr. Gowdy, your board, AAU members who are in attendance tonight, we welcome you back home. As Dr. Gowdy said, this is the original home of AAU. So we welcome you. So tonight, I'd like to congratulate the finalists, Malia, Rachel, Townley, Aaliyah, Morgan, Luke, Mackenzie, and Katherine. I hope that you will use your sports background as a platform to continue to do great things in this world. So tonight, I encourage everyone to enjoy the ceremony, enjoy our facilities. Welcome. The New York Athletic Club, known as the Home of Champions, tonight is your home too. Thank you very much.
Okay, at this point in time, I have the dubious distinction to introduce all of our dignitaries here. It's very important because these people are tireless workers on behalf of AAU, and it's important that I recognize that they're in attendance tonight. First of all, I'd like to introduce the other 4 AAU officers. Mr. Rusty Buchanan is not with us. He's in Europe drumming up the business somewhere. I'm going to meet, Teresa and I are going to meet him there next week. Our second vice president, Mr. Joe Gura. Our national treasurer, Mr. Joe Mirza. To be an officer, you have to be named Joe, unless you're a woman. And then our national secretary is Cindy Tromley. And moving along the list, we have from our Middle Atlantic District, they support us every year. A great person, great governor of our district, Miss Allison Eachus. Our insurance carrier, Jim Foy from Foy Insurance. Nationwide, unfortunately, could not be with us tonight, but we have from Herff Jones, who makes the trophy for us every year, Rick Condon and Greg Cole. From our New York Metropolitan District, we have R.A. Vernon and Karen Kramer. And from our Connecticut District, Mr. Jack Bethke. And those three districts are really what drove bringing us back to New York. They said we have to bring it back to New York because we had it down in Orlando for a while, and because their sponsorship and their support and their help, that's another big reason we're here. I'm very honored to introduce with us tonight the new president and CEO of USA Gymnastics, Miss Lili Ling. Lili? We also have our new partners from the National Fitness Foundation, Mr. Clay Walker and LaRonda Burley. And also from Spalding, we have Dave Cordini and Jonathan Hovis. And from Stack Sports, Brandon Holman, Bernie Takovich, and Beth Romer. And last but not least, another huge reason that we were able to come back to New York is Eastbay came up with another $50,000 a year of sponsorship money to help us bring this award back to New York. And I call him Sri. I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm not even going to try. But Sri from Eastbay, the Vice President and General Manager. And Ken West. I can pronounce West. If your last name was West, I'll call you Sri East and Ken West. And the rest of the Eastbay and the Foot Locker team. And again, we call them partnerships that we have here, not sponsorships, because we believe in giving back. We don't want it to be a one-way street. We don't want just to benefit from taking money from an organization or support from an organization and not giving back. And this week we were able to go to Foot Locker and do a kind of a demo with all the athletes, thanks for all of their help going down there, and interview with sports writers and stuff. But thank you for putting that on. We really appreciate it. All right, I guess this time I turn it over and introduce from Eastbay to say a few words, Mr. Ken West.
Thank you, Dr. Gowdy. I always tend to say that I'm terrible at reading aloud, so I'm going to do my best just to speak to you tonight, but it's certainly a pleasure to be here. I also say a lot that this is my favorite day at work when I get to come to the Sullivan Award. Been very blessed to be here many years. Since Eastbay was founded in 1980, we've strived to be the ultimate resource for every athlete across the country, and our proud heritage in providing the tools that allow the athletes to perform at their best, to get training advice from the professional athletes that we work with, is really what we truly align with the AAU and understanding what sport is all about. So it's no surprise for us that our longest partnership in our company's history is with the AAU, and it's one that we revere very, very proudly every year. AAU's philosophy of sports for all forever, shared by 700,000 people. I'm going to make sure that we call that out going forward. That's an incredible feat, obviously, in the 150,000 volunteers across the country. Just an incredibly impressive feat. And that same vision really hits home for me on a personal level, as the memories that I have from being a young athlete growing up and having it become part of my DNA has really kind of defined what my life has become personally on a career level, and I'm very proud of that. There was a point in time where I realized I wouldn't compete at the same level of Carl Lewis, to be honest with you, and one of the things that I did at that point in time was shifted my focus into assisting athletes. So again, I tend to say on a career level that this is an extension of my playing career. So even as athletes, I think there's lots of things that we can all do in many facets, but never lose that competitive spirit that we all have. So there's obviously no better organization in the world, as far as I'm concerned, than the AAU that really embodies that spirit. So Eastbay, we're incredibly proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Sullivan Award. We're just to be here celebrating the accomplishments of the nation's best athletes, and we're certainly inspired by each of you on a lot of levels. It's more than just the simple fact that you've obviously risen to where you are today with all the great, incredible work that you've done, but to be great leaders and to inspire other people and to be great role models is really what it embodies, really, to be here. So I really appreciate that, and I'm sure as everyone else does. So on behalf of Eastbay and Foot Locker, we'd like to personally thank Dr. Gowdy and everyone at the AAU for the unwavering support and our partnership that we've had over the years, and we look forward to continually, mutually sending our message across to athletes all over the country and the world. So thank you again for having us.
The more I think about it, Sri East and Ken West, I'll never forget that. Because I'm never going to get that last name. Okay. But anyway, at this point in time, we have an award that I started 3 or 4 years ago when I became president, that I felt that we needed to have something to go back in time and right a wrong. And I'll give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. When Jesse Owens in 1936 won 4 Olympic gold medals and came back and was a Sullivan Award finalist and didn't win, and some guy won that I'd never even heard of, I wonder why that happened. Well, the social things back then were a little bit different. The social norms were different. And so I said, when things like that happen as an organization, we should admit, we probably screwed up. And if he was being judged by today's standards, Jesse Owens would have won the award. So we've developed an award through the AAU, and we named it after the only female president in the 130-year history of the AAU, Miss Gussie Crawford. And it's the Gussie Crawford Lifetime Achievement Award. So the first year we gave it, we went to a guy by the name of Jesse Owens. The second year we gave it, it went to Jim Thorpe. And this year we're going to show you a video of this year's winner. And I didn't know that much about this person until I saw the video. Never realized how talented the person was. Never realized how many sports the person did. And she was just a dominant athlete of her time. And because of the social norms at the time, was never even considered. So if we would show the package of this year's winner of the Gussie Crawford Award.
Throughout our history, there have been athletes who have been trailblazers in amateur sports. Men, women, people of diverse ethnicity and race whose passion for athletics overcame any obstacles they faced. Each year, the Amateur Athletic Union salutes an athlete who embodies that spirit with the AAU Gussie Crawford Lifetime Achievement Award. The 2019 winner of the AAU Gussie Crawford Award is Babe Diedrichson Zaharias. An exuberant tomboy whose life was athletics, she was accomplished in just about every sport. Basketball, track, golf, baseball, tennis, swimming, diving, boxing, volleyball, handball, bowling, billiards, skating, and cycling. When asked if there was anything she didn't play, she said, yeah, dolls. In 1932, Babe won the National Women's AAU Olympic tryouts by herself with 30 points, 8 points over second place, the Illinois Women's Athletic Club. It has been declared to be the greatest single achievement in a series of events in the history of athletics. She was called Wonder Girl by Grantland Rice after her 2 gold and 1 silver medal performance in the 1932 Olympics, and eventually focused on golf at his suggestion, and went on to be declared by inaugural AAU Sullivan Award winner Bobby Jones as one of the 10 best golfers of all time. In her career, Babe won 82 golf tournaments, including amateur and professional. She was voted the world's greatest woman athlete of the first half of the 20th century by the Associated Press, and the only athlete to be named Woman Athlete of the Year by the AP 6 times. Babe was diagnosed with colon cancer in 1953 and became one of the first public figures to openly discuss her cancer in an attempt to spread awareness about the disease. After her passing, the Babe Diedrichson Zacharias Foundation, along with her husband, George Zacharias, raised money for a museum which was completed in 1976. Please join us in congratulating the 2019 AAU Gussie Crawford Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Babe Diedrichson Zacharias.
We don't have Babe here, but we have Gussie here. So come on up, Gussie. Hey, I just got to tell you a cute story about her. After being president and serving all this time at AAU, I've known Gussie for a long time. She still tells me, you got to clean your glasses before you go up there, Roger. So she still corrects me. And the other thing about Gussie is she's one of the most genuinely kind and loving people you'll ever meet. And this girl right here, I couldn't think of a better person for this award to be named after than Gussie.
And the best thing he likes about it is I keep things short. I don't like to talk a lot. So can I just go ahead and call my foundation people
call your
up?
foundation up here.
Okay. Accepting the Babe Zacharias Award, the Gussie Crawford Award, whatever. We have W.L. Payton.
It's your award. You can call it whatever you want.
And her nephew, George. And I'll let you, and keep it short now, W.L., you promise. Man. He's going to tell you about Beaumont instead of Babe, so we got to watch him here, okay?
Hey. Thank you, Gussie. You know, probably one of the most difficult things is to follow Babe Zacharias and Gussie Crawford within a 30-second spot. But on behalf of the Babe Diedrichson Zacharias Foundation, I am delighted to be here. I'm also a city councilman from Beaumont, and I had to miss a council meeting yesterday, but I get $400 a month, so I hope they don't dock my pay. But anyway, this is so delightful because when you know how phenomenal Gussie is, and of course her daughter's here and her granddaughter's here, you got 3 generations here representing great people that literally are trailblazers. When you look at Babe Zacharias, to say she's the world's greatest female athlete is redundant. And I'm not related to her. I just sound like I am. And I was real excited when they told us that Babe was going to be the recipient of this Gussie Crawford Award because it means so much to us, the city of Beaumont, our foundation. And I was really excited when you said Clay Walker was here because I thought we were talking about the country singer who, by the way, is from Beaumont, Texas. But we are really delighted to be here. Really appreciate Roger and the group doing this. If you get a chance to come to Beaumont, please come to the museum. I'd also like for Dr. George Grimes, who's Babe's favorite nephew, to say a word. He's vice president of our board.
I'm a man of few words. Thank you very much.
Hey.
You take after me, George.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, Gussie. Great job, girl.
I'm better by myself.
All right. Gussie doesn't want anybody to help her. She said, I'm better by myself. Get out of my way. That girl, I mean, just a few years ago, ran for a city council position. She's still going strong. But anyway, we love you, Gussie. All right, moving on here. At this point in time, I have to get, where'd I put my agenda? Here it is. At this point in time, I'm going to invite up here a great guy. I got to meet him about 6 months ago, and we started a conversation about the President's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports Award. And he's just a very genuine guy. He's from Washington, D.C. He's been heavily involved in sports for years. But he's going to go up here and talk a few minutes about the President's Council, and then he's going to introduce our MC for tonight, Mr. Clay Walker.
Thank you, Dr. Gowdy. I'm sorry to disappoint that I'm not from Beaumont. My name is Clay Walker. I'm from Richmond, but I went to high school in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina, which is where Cedric Jones went to high school. I used to have track and field rivalries with his younger brother, who, I won't talk about it, but he broke every single one of my records. I'm thrilled, as an old track and field guy, to have an opportunity to introduce Carl Lewis, and I'll get to Carl in just a moment. There's so much we can say about his career. But as Dr. Gowdy has alluded to a couple of times, I wanted to make sure this audience understood what the National Fitness Foundation was, what we were doing, and really what the partnership is with AAU. The National Fitness Foundation is the only congressionally chartered nonprofit focused on youth sports, health, and fitness. About 6 months ago, we launched the first ever national endowment dedicated to youth sport in America. The first partner that we signed was AAU. First ever. But Dr. Gowdy and the AAU leadership decided to go one step further. They decided that they wanted to partner with us to run the Presidential Youth Fitness Program, which has been around since 1960. It's been around for a long time. AAU has agreed to take over that program. So what that means is AAU is going to be the only organization in the United States that runs in-school physical education programs and out-of-school youth sports. Let me repeat that. The only organization that will do that. There are a lot of club sports out there. There are a lot of in-school programs. AAU will be the only one. So I would just like to thank AAU and everyone, please show some appreciation for what their leadership. Without that enduring leadership, we wouldn't be able to get where we are. And the honorees tonight, it all started with youth sports. And to have an organization like AAU to really stand up and celebrate your achievements, you should thank, because this is going to be something that is permanent, and the next generation and the next generation will be there. You're trailblazers, but they're making sure that this continues on. So let me get to Carl. I could go on and on and on about Carl Lewis. I mentioned to Carl and Cedric in the mid-'80s, when I was running track, this guy was winning a few gold medals. How many? Carl won 10 Olympic medals, 9 gold medals. Oh, by the way, he also won 10 World Championship medals and 8 gold medals in the World Championships. Carl was named Athlete of the Century by the International Association of Athletics Federation. Carl was also named Sportsman of the Century by the International Olympic Committee. And Sports Illustrated named Carl as the Olympian of the Century. All of those organizations can't be wrong. This man that is going to serve as our MC tonight was the greatest Olympic athlete of the 20th century. And by my maybe slightly biased opinion, greatest ever in any sport. So I could go on and on about Carl, but I will tell you that I am so proud and so excited to be partnered with AAU here on an evening that celebrates such great achievements by young men and women. And I will say that for this evening, there is no better MC than Carl Lewis. There is no better role model. And really, there's no better example of why sport, amateur and youth sport, is so critical in the United States. It's critical in local communities. It's critical to families. No better embodiment than Carl Lewis. So with that, I'd like to welcome our MC to take it away for the rest of the evening. Thank you, Carl.
Well, thank you so much, and I'm so excited to be back here. The Sullivan Award is amazing. When I was a kid, I used to watch it and read all the results. Of course, in my day, we just saw the results. And I just idolized the greatest amateur athlete in the country. I just idolized that. And then I was just fortunate enough to grow up and run down a track and jump into some sand and become a winner one day. And now guess what? Something I idolize, I can host. Dreams come true for people who really, really are not afraid to try them. And so dreams happen because people support you and they make you believe that you can be more than what you ever thought you could be. And they make you believe to keep going when times are tough, or to be humble when times are great. And so I want to dedicate the whole evening to the front row, the parents that saw the tough times and saw the good times and were behind you and told you to get back out on the track or get back out on that court when you were like mad because you didn't win that day. Or all the times afterwards you had little dinners, and actually what the parents were doing was just trying to pick your brain, not really about eating food that day. So I want to dedicate that and really tell how excited I am to be here again. So with further ado, thank you. We are going to actually take a little walk down the path of the AAU James E. Sullivan Awards. So let's watch the video.
Welcome to the New York Athletic Club and the 77th Annual James E. Sullivan Awards, celebrating sports at its purest level.
These awards have been presented annually by the Amateur Athletic Union since 1930.
We have world champions here tonight. We have Olympic champions here tonight. We have world record holders.
Well, tonight it's perfect. We have athletes who in just about every case have done things that we've never seen before.
This is a wonderful moment for all of you. It's not just what you've done in your athletic arenas, it's the things we hear about you away from that arena.
I think the special thing about the AAU James E. Sullivan Award is that it represents all sports. Some awards, like the Eisman Trophy, represent the sport of football, but the Sullivan, in fact, represents the Amateur Athlete of the Year, covering all sports. It's been around for 80+ years, and we've had some remarkable winners.
Look at all the past winners, and just to think that I'm in the same class as those athletes, and just the people that I was running against. And those athletes, they just have accomplished so much.
I mean, people winning Heismans, multiple gold medalists, and to be a part of that group is just phenomenal.
As an athlete, we put in so much work every day towards a goal years down the line, and to be recognized and have everyone come together for something like this is really special.
Your last 2 years have been some of the most historic in gymnastics history. Will you talk a little about what you've done the last 2 years?
I'm a 2-time world champion, and I'm a 6-time world medalist. So
I feel like amateur athletes put so much hard work into what they do and their sport, and everything goes on behind the scenes. No one gets to really see it, and I feel like this is one of the awards that really recognizes that hard work.
You know, you hear about athletes all the time, you know, doing great things on the field, and the cool thing about people that I've got to meet here is what they do off the field.
You know, it takes their sport, you know, into consideration, but also, you know, how they live their life, which is very important.
It really is about, you know, the character and the striving and the effort and the moments that get you to be the best athlete, but also be the best version of yourself. And I think that's what we respect so much about amateur athletics.
They all have the same values of the commitment to excellence of their sport, their drive, their discipline.
That's what this award represents. It represents integrity, it represents passion, it represents being true to your ideals.
I think honoring just the raw athlete as what they were before all the fame and the money and everything, I think is really special.
And what a better way than to be in the venue like the New York Athletic Club that is just the epitome of amateur sports.
Thank you to New York Athletic Club. I am a member and a world champ for you guys, so it feels good every time to come back to the AC.
The New York City Athletic Club is a historical prominence in the field of amateur sports. Along with the AAU, who was founded out of the New York City Athletic Club, I think we are out there and we represent those values, ideals, and dreams that kids have of being the best you can be in the field of amateur sports.
You know, it's a huge honor for us that are really working hard, that, you know, maybe don't get the support that, well, you know, the professional athletes do. You know, we put our heart and soul into what we do every day, and so to have people see that is really huge for us.
I think it's really great to recognize amateur athletes and everything that the AAU does to promote amateur athletics.
And I think that that's one thing that the AAU does very well, is they consider athletes in such a wide variety of sports, and they bring recognition to sports that maybe wouldn't have necessarily had that spotlight shined on them.
Our mission says sports for all, forever. This truly accentuates what we're about as an organization, that sports for all, forever, and we want to recognize all those people that have achieved greatness in amateur sport.
This will have an incredible impact on my sport because, again, it shows that you're never too old to strive for something. You're never too old to have goals out there, and you will have a chance to be recognized, and that's what we all look for.
People don't remember titles that you've won 3 years down the road. What people remember is your character, your passion, your heart, everything that the Sullivan Award defines.
The qualities that you learn as an athlete are so important, and so to be a part of this group is really an honor for us.
Regardless of the sport, we want to recognize all of those athletes, and they're truly all winners just being here today.
I am an amateur athlete in its purest form, and I perform because I love it.
Well, 89 years. We waited 89 years for this day. Some of you have been out working hard and running fast and swimming hard and throwing and on courts and everything. But tonight's your night, so we're going to move to you. And so now we're going to talk about our finalists. And our first finalist that we have tonight is Luke May. Now, Luke is unable to be here with us tonight, but he wanted to send us a video to show his appreciation.
May set a school record for most rebounds in consecutive seasons with 750, including 377 in 2018-19, the 7th most in a season by a Tar Heel. He concluded his career 10th all-time in rebounds by a Tar Heel with 942. May is a 2-time academic All-America and winner of the Skip Prosser Award as the Atlantic Coast Conference's top scholar athlete in men's basketball. A 4-time member of the All-ACC academic team, May won the Senior Class Award, recognizing him for his athletic, academic, and community service impact, and an ACC postgraduate scholarship. He earned his 2nd All-ACC award in 2018-19, became the first Tar Heel to score 30 points at Duke and NC State, and became the 2nd player in college basketball history to have 30 points and 15 rebounds in a win over an AP #1 ranked team.
All right, thank you. Now I'd like to bring Roger and Melissa back up to help me out a little bit.
All right, we're going to roll whenever you're ready. You can just wrap the lines.
Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's having a good night. Sorry I couldn't make it tonight, but I just wanted to thank you for the great honor of being a finalist for the Sullivan Award, and just want to tell you guys a little bit about how AAU shaped the part of me that made me who I am today, and just the ability to play basketball on the AAU circuit and being able to do things with my friends that I would never be able to do without AAU is something that truly is special to me, and I'm truly thankful. And thank you so much for the nomination, and I truly appreciate it.
Now we want to call up the finalists. Just let them know you'll be back. Well, our first finalist is Mikayla Fecky. Mikayla's a volleyballer from Nebraska. Now,
a past AAU Sullivan Award finalist, Fecky concluded her Husker career with AVCA First Team All-America and NCAA Championship All-Tournament honors after leading the Huskers to an NCAA runner-up finish in 2018. With a 21-2 record in her NCAA tournament career, she played in more matches and won more NCAA tournament matches than any player in Husker history. The winner of the Senior Class Award, Fecky excels both on and off the court for Nebraska.
Now you have an interesting relationship with the other finalists, because actually you've met other finalists. Just give us your story.
Yeah, I was actually here my freshman year, so that was 2015, so this is my second time. AAU definitely outdid themselves this time. Obviously the first time was amazing, but it was a one-day event, and now it's 2 days, and it's so great to get to meet the finalists and really get to know them.
Yeah, well, you and Rachel actually were up for an award together as well. So let us know about that.
Yeah, Rachel and I were up for an award in 2015, I guess. It was the Gatorade National Player of the Year. And yeah, so we got to know each other then.
So let me ask you a question. So what was your brothers and sisters?
No, I'm an only child.
You're an only child?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got me. Well, you know what? Sometimes when I was growing up, I wish I was an only child, but that's another story. So what would you say at this point was the defining moment? And it could be high school, it could be elementary. What was the defining moment, would you say, in your career up to this point?
That's hard. The defining moment for me was probably in high school, just playing with some of my best friends. They always pushed me to want to be better, and just having the ability to play with girls that you'd known your whole life was really shaping for me and showed me that hard work can really pay out in the end.
Okay, which parent was the driver and which parent was the supporter? You know what I mean. Give me that story.
I'd say they both were the driver and they both were the supporter. They just kind of filled the roles, and either one, whichever way it was going, it just kind of depended.
Okay, but they were always there for you.
Yeah, they were both always there.
What was your did you have an after-game ritual?
After games, we always, well, if it's at home, we always go to this place called Lead Bellies. Okay. They have really good burgers. You know, you're in Nebraska, you have to get a good burger. Yeah.
Okay, all right, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So next we're going to move on. We're going to bring up Rachel Garcia.
Garcia was recognized as the Pac-12 Conference, USA Softball, NFCA, and ESPNW National Player of the Year, as well as the Honda Sport Award winner for softball in 2018. Along with all of her recognitions with UCLA, she was a member of the 2018 USA Softball National Team World Championship roster, helping the U.S. win gold and qualify for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. Currently #1 in the nation, Garcia hopes to lead the Bruins to an NCAA national title this year.
Rachel. So a wonderful thing happened for you because softball's back in the Olympics. And so tell us about that and how did the process happen? Actually give the backstory of how it was in, it was out, now it's back in.
Yeah, I mean,
you did the microphone.
It was 2008 is when it was taken out, and I just remember just being so heartbroken because being so young and looking up to that level, I always just told my parents that I wanted to be there one day, and I worked so hard for it, and when 2008 hit and it was taken out, I just was so devastated. But hearing now that it's back in the Olympics last season, it was just almost like a light hit me. It was amazing. It was like just amazing that it was back in, and now I finally had something more to work towards. And now that I'm a foot in right now and having one more tryout to get through, I'm just going to keep pushing myself as hard as I can to get to that level.
Okay, so when you were growing up watching the Olympics, who were some of the players that you admired?
Some of the players I admired was definitely Lisa Fernandez, who is currently my assistant coach, who I work with every day in the bullpen. Monica Abbott, Kat Osterman, Tariah Flowers, and it's amazing because I'm actually teammates with them right now. And
okay.
Yeah.
So you're actually on the 2020 team they've already selected?
Not yet. I'm on the 2019 for the Pan Am Games.
Oh, for the Pan Am Games. Okay, yes. So when do they select? What is your trials process for softball?
I'm not sure when the 2020 trials are, but I do know that there will be probably a tryout in January. In January, so to pick the team for there. And then you'll go on a tour and everything else. Correct.
Well, good luck to you. Congratulations. And thank you for talking.
Thank you.
Okay, Townley Haas.
A senior leader for the 2019 Longhorns and member of 3 NCAA championship teams, Haas was a 10-time NCAA champion, 6 individual titles, 4 relay championships, and an 18-time All-American. At the 2019 NCAA championship, he won the 500 free title for the 3rd time in his career, setting an NCAA record, 4 minutes, 8 seconds, and 19 in the process. He was also a member of UT's winning 400 free relay and anchored the Longhorns Championship 800 free relay that set an NCAA, US Open, and American record. The 2018 Big 12 Men's Swimmer of the Year, 2019 Big 12 Swimmer of the Meet, and 14-time Big 12 champion, he earned a gold medal for Team USA as a member of the 800 free relay and finished 5th in the 200 free at the 2016 Olympics. Haas was a 5-time medalist at the 2017 FINA World Championships as well.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So this will be your 2nd Olympic team you're going for. So what do you think is different, and what did you bring from Rio that could help you going to Tokyo?
I think getting 5th individually is it's definitely something I think about a lot. Obviously, would have liked it done better, but you know, I remember that constantly when I'm training, and you know, just know that I want to do better next time.
Okay, so winning the gold medal with the relay, was that before or after the 200 free?
That was after.
It was after, yes. So that was kind of like a big pickup for you to get that gold after.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So leaving the Olympics, coming back to college, what was that like? Because, you know, in a lot of cases, the Olympics is the ultimate, and so then you go back, and because you went back you wanted to finish your 4 years. Mm-hmm. So what into that decision?
A lot. I mean, a lot went into
Yeah.
it, obviously, but you know, I think just, you know, training at Texas is where I wanted to train, and you know, so I think it was pretty easy for me to just stay in school and train there,
Okay.
and so I just did that.
Okay, so there's a story that you learned how to swim. Well, you tell it. How did you learn how to swim?
So I mean,
tell the truth.
I took, so I started lessons when I was 2 at my club team, and but before that, my mom loves this story. We were at the beach and I couldn't even walk, and I would just crawl into the ocean. And my grandpa would walk down there, pick me up, bring me all the way back up, and I'd just crawl right back in. And so I guess I just love the water from a very early age.
So they had to get you, or did you just start going, or they just roll you back up?
Yeah, so my grandpa would literally pick me up and like bring me back up the beach to our stuff, and
Okay.
then I would just crawl back.
But you don't remember the words he said every time you did that?
No.
Okay.
Probably not good ones, yeah.
Thank goodness. All right, congratulations and good luck to you, man. Okay, Lea Hobbs.
the first female collegiate athlete to win the 100-meter dash at the USATF Championships and the 2018 USTF CCCA Outdoor Track Athlete of the Year, Hobbs also won 3 NCAA titles in 2018 in the 60-meter dash indoors with a record-setting performance, 100-meter dash outdoors, and the 4x100 relay outdoors. The 2018 Corbett Award winner, awarded to Most Outstanding Amateur Athlete in Louisiana each year, she held the 5 fastest U.S. marks in the 100-meter dash in 2018 and did not lose a single outdoor race in her primary events, 100-meter dash, the 4x100 relay, en route to a perfect 16:0 record.
That was something I wanted to add because I saw like a lot of those races because I coach at Houston and our girls were watching you. What was, you know, being undefeated, what was it like as the season went on, not losing a race, and what was your mindset as the season went on?
I would say that my indoor season kind of started my season going. Once I won indoor nationals, I kind of got more motivation going into outdoor. So going into outdoor, I won my first 100 race. You know, the next one I ran faster, so I'm like, okay, get faster and faster. Then as it went on, I ran faster and faster and faster, and and then once it came postseason, you know, that's when it really counts. I just kept telling myself, okay, this is just another race. You know, it's no pressure. You know, just go out there and do what you've been doing all season, and I did that and had an undefeated season.
Well, I'll tell you something. I don't know if they noticed, but your national championship race was in probably in the 50s and pouring. I mean, it was raining so hard. What were you thinking about? First of all, you have to warm up in this, and you have to get ready. You're wet. What was your determination that day in all that rain and bad weather?
It was really just mental. They walked us to the starting line. They let us keep our clothes on. So once we took our clothes off, the rain started hitting us. It was cold. Everyone was like, oh my God, it's so cold. And I'm listening to them, and I'm like, it is cold, but I don't want to think about it because I'm about to run the national race. So I just blocked all that out, and I just, like I said before, it's just another race. This is actually my final race of my collegiate season, so I went out there and gave it my all.
So how did you get involved in track and field?
Running from a dog out the church van.
Wait. Running from your dog after church?
Not my dog, just a random dog. Yeah.
Well, did it ever catch you?
No,
like,
it didn't.
Not close up?
No.
So that's why you're, I must be fast if I can outrun the dog.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Was it big or small?
I don't remember. I hope it was big.
Well, it was the right size for you to get away from. So right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So next we have Morgan Hurd. Here we are.
Born in China and adopted as a child, Morgan is known for her big smile and competing in glasses, which is inspiring to many bespectacled kids. In 2018, Morgan began by winning the women's title at the American Cup, the USA's most prestigious international event, and ended with the World Team Gold Medal, floor exercise silver, and all-around bronze. Training at First State Gymnastics, Morgan has been ranked in the top 3 in the world for both 2017 and 2018, which are the only 2 years she has competed on the senior level, and is poised to begin at 3-time national champion University of Florida this fall.
Morgan. So there's a story that you ended up in gymnastics because you kept doing cartwheels. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so my mom put me in multiple sports when I was younger, dance, soccer, softball, ice skating, and I mean, I just vaguely remember I would play goalie in soccer, and I got yelled at because I kept doing cartwheels instead of doing my job.
So you know what? So you like Harry Potter?
Yes.
So tell us like the most unique thing that happened out of your relationship or your love for Harry Potter.
So after I won the 2017 World All-Around title, somehow the Twitter got J.K. Rowling to tweet me congratulations, and we had a little back and forth. And I just remember I was getting treatment done before finals, and I just started bawling, and everyone's like, "What is the matter with you?" And I could barely get out understandable words.
Okay, so is there a character for you in the future in one of the books or something? Did you guys talk about that?
No.
Well, I'll tell you this. You'll be a great character when you represent the United States in the Olympic Games in the future, and we look forward to you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mackenzie Milton.
The American Athletic Conference Player of the Year for the second year in a row, Milton's horrific leg injury suffered late in the 2018 season sparked talk amongst the world of college football. Coming off an already undefeated season in 2017, Milton was poised to continue to lead the charge to another perfect record for UCF into the postseason before his season-ending injury in the regular season finale. Fans across the nation plastered 10 Hana everywhere, a mix of number 10, his jersey number, and Ohana, the Hawaiian word for family. Despite the injury, Milton finished 8th in Heisman Trophy voting in 2017 and then 6th in 2018. Milton visits special needs children at a local high school and leads a PE class for them. His love of kids has him planning to be a coach in the future.
So word has it you were a catcher growing up.
Yeah, I played baseball growing up and I was a catcher.
That's good. So how did that help you in football? How do you think?
Just got a quick release. Anybody that stole, I'll throw them out at second.
Oh, you got them all the time.
I'll get you out too. No.
Well, look. I know you will now, because I can't make it to second anymore. I'll be like, whew, okay, hold on, slow that release up. Okay, so you guys had a 2-year undefeated season, and not only was exciting I know for your community, for your university, but it was for the sport of football. What was that like?
Yeah, it was just a special ride. You know, I came in, we were 0-12 season the year before I got there, and then we went 6-7, and then 13-0, and then 12-1. But I give a lot of credit to Coach Frost, just building a family culture, and you know, you don't win that many games in a row without having a tight-knit group. So a lot of credit to our coaches, just keeping that culture. And you know, we just had a really tight team, and that's what set us up to win those close games.
Well, I tell you this, it's you know, there's a lot of big ones in football, and you guys show that you put something together, a lot of heart, you can get it done. So NFL for you. So what do you want to do with your first check?
Pay off the parents' house, for sure.
That's a good thing. All right, congratulations, young man. All right, Katherine Plummer.
On top of winning an NCAA national championship, Plummer was also named the AVCA Player of the Year, ESPNW Player of the Year, Volleyball Mag Player of the Year, Pac-12 Player of the Year, AVCA Pacific North Region Player of the Year, and the Honda Sport Award winner for volleyball. She was also named to the AVCA All-America First Team, VolleyballMag.com All-America First Team, AVCA All-Pacific North Region First Team, All-Pac-12 Conference First Team, and the NCAA All-Tournament Team, along with being named the co-MVP of the NCAA Tournament.
So you need another award, huh?
I don't think so.
So your father was an Olympian. Mm-hmm. And so what was that like? Or no, actually, I want to know, when did you find out and how?
I mean, I've always been involved in sports. I found out when my dad was in the Olympics in '84.
Okay.
Probably when I was like 6, and I wanted to tell everybody because I thought it was so cool. It's just been a really good role model to look up to.
Well, so you actually had a competition with Mikayla,
Yes.
So how did that go? Or should I be asking Mikayla?
Yeah, we played each other in the national championship this year. It was a great match. Went to 5 sets. We ended up winning it, so it's a little awkward. But there's a stat, it's on Twitter somewhere, that Stanford got like 205 points or something, and they got 104, or 204, so there was a difference between 1 point.
Okay. So the Olympics is coming up, and that's a big goal for you. So let me ask you, how long could you imagine your career going? You know, 1 Olympics, 2, like, you want to be one of these long time? Your dad made 1 team?
Yeah.
So you have to make at least 2, right?
I had to beat him a little bit. At least by 1. My plans are try to go to 2020. I'm in school still, so that might be a little bit tough, but I mean, I want to play it for as long as my body holds out indoor, and then maybe transition to the beach after.
Okay, absolutely. Well, congratulations and good luck.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Now I'd like to invite the audience to take a look at their fun day.
My name is Lea Hobbs. We're here in New York for the AAU Sullivan Award. We're about to go on this crazy tour of the city, and we're pumped.
Welcome aboard AAU Sullivan Award finalists.
I'm Mackenzie Milton, quarterback at the University of Central Florida. A few athletes that are nominated for the AAU James Sullivan Award. We're out here touring the city today, and it's a huge honor for myself, my family, and my school, so I'm definitely grateful to be here.
The AAU James E. Sullivan Award recognizes the top amateur athlete in the United States.
The beauty of the AAU James E. Sullivan Award is it's all sports. AAU was born in New York City in 1888. They wanted to form a union of amateur athletes that the different athletic clubs back then could compete against each other. We have everything from Olympians to NCAA athletes to athletes that are just competing in their national governing bodies around the world.
Hi, I'm Morgan Hurd and I'm a gymnast, and being here at the AAU Sullivan Award is just so amazing. I love the city, the atmosphere, just everything about it is just wonderful.
I'm blessed to be here with these 8 great finalists and here with my family, and I'm excited to be in New York.
I'm Lea Haas. I swim at the University of Texas. We just finished up our bus tour of New York City, hang out with the best amateur athletes in the country. It's been a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Rachel Garcia. I play softball, and being here at the AAU Sullivan Awards is just absolutely amazing. I think it's awesome just being around volleyball, gymnasts, football, swimmers, just all of it.
Hi guys, I'm Katherine Plummer. I play volleyball. It's been a really awesome time getting to know everybody, all the different athletes and their families. I'm getting to spend time with the New York Athletic Club, and I'm just really proud to be a part of it for the sport of volleyball. This is New York City!
What a fabulous couple of days. I'm Melissa Willis. I'm the national chair for the AAU James E. Sullivan Award. And I think every day I just pinch myself, and I thank Dr. Roger Gowdy for inviting me to be a part of this organization and with this position over the last 5 years, because it's just unbelievable to recognize these athletes. And I think that in this world that we live in, we're just so fast-paced. They're at practice, you're on airplanes, you're traveling, you're trying to get meals ready, you're coaching, you're doing homework, you're not sleeping, you're setting alarms early, and we just go, 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 go. And this is the moment to practice the pause. To really, sometimes we don't reflect and stop and practice that pause to say, wow, look at the greatness of what's happening that we're surrounded with. Look at the support that we have. You know, it's time to embrace that pause, to look around, look at this New York Athletic Club, and how special this is and how special these last 2 days are. There's relationships that have been formed that I think will last a lifetime. And to look out at everybody here, and Carl Lewis said, let's look at this front row, but let's look at everybody here. First of all, let's hear it for the parents and the families. We all know it takes a great team, and the team starts with the family. And I've talked to some of you, and it's like, okay, yes, the parents are here, but then the second moms are here, who are the coaches, and the second dads, who are the coaches. And so let's hear it for all of the all of their coaches and any of you who are coaches that are here. Let's hear it for all of you today. You truly have. I'm married to a high school football coach, so all coaches have a special place in my heart. We know that, again, our partners that we have with Eastbay and all of you, and to see, Lili walk in with her new position to support Morgan, it's unbelievable. We can go through all of you, but I also want to thank, as it does take a team, our AAU team that has been behind the scenes, and Shannon Craighead, who's been our event coordinator. Thank you to all of you for making this happen over the last couple days. And once again, to embrace that pause, to embrace the gratitude that we have for all of you, but also the gratitude that we have for our athletes. We cheer for you, we cry with you, we dream with you. We are there at our TVs, just like we were all on Sunday with the Masters with our 1995 finalist, Tiger Woods. We're there with you every step of the way. Thank you for being role models to not only all of us, but to our children, our future leaders, and everything that you do to set the example, not only in your athletics, but what you do every day. It's been an amazing honor to get to know all of you. We read about you, we see you as athletes, but to get to know you as individuals and people, I could not be more proud, and we could not be more proud to have the 7 of you sitting right here. So thank you for all of you do to really unify us as a nation, to bring people together to cheer you on. So we look forward to a lifetime of cheering all of you on with all of your future endeavors. So again, thank you for being you. And now, without further ado, I have the envelope here. Drum roll, please. It is my honor to announce the recipient of the 89th Annual AAU James E. Sullivan Award, Miss Katherine Plummer, Stanford Volleyball.
Short and sweet. There you go. I was going to look into the desk, but I have no idea.
There we go.
Now let's get all of our athletes standing up here. Oh yes, let's come here.
I'll say like
here,
really short.
I'll hold that for you.
This is not my comfort zone.
Microphone. Oh, here you have the microphone.
A bunch of thank yous. Okay. Thank you so much to everyone. This is not my comfort zone, so I'm going to read straight from my phone. Thank you so much to everyone that has supported me to get to this point. Couldn't have done without you guys, my family. Thank you for coming to every game. I'm also a crier, so thank you for coming to every game and being my biggest cheerleaders. You're my biggest role models, and I owe you everything. Oh, geez. Okay. Thanks to all the people that voted across the country, across the world. I know that Stanford had a large poll. My friends and family had a large poll, so thank you. Thank you to Stanford, to Kevin, to my family, to all my coaches, my professors, for building me into the person and the player I am today. Couldn't have done without you guys. And finally, thank you to the AAU and the New York Athletic Club for holding this event and allowing me to meet some of the coolest people. These are like the best athletes in the country, as you guys know, but they're also so cool, so smart, so hardworking, so funny. I've really enjoyed getting to meet them the last 2 days, and I look forward to continuing these relationships. Looking at the former winners, it's extremely humbling to be up here. I'm a mess right now, but looking forward to the future. I just can't wait to be a role model for little girls. There's a girl in the audience today, her name's Caroline, and she gave me her autograph, and that's just so cool to be able to be a role model for little girls and anyone that plays sports, especially volleyball. But I'm just really excited, and I thank you guys all so much.
Congratulations. You guys go. You guys are up. You have any? Roger, you'd like to say something to close us out?
No.
And then I'll.
Just thank everybody.
Yep.
And we're going to have plenty of opportunities for pictures here.
Okay.
And then we're going to go down there. I think we're going to take some staged pictures up here with the winners and the finalists. And then we're going to let them go down. Parents, friends, anybody, feel free to take pictures. These are a group of nice kids. One of our best classes ever. She can make me cry.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming, and look forward to enjoying the evening.
Thank you.